Hello everyone, my name is Netta Iivari and I'm presenting our CHI paper CHI Against Bullying, Taking Stock of the Past and Envisioning the Future on behalf of my co-authors Leena Ventä-Olkkonen, Sumita Sharma, Tonja Molin-Juustila and Essi Kinnunen. In this work, we focus on the troublesome and widespread problem of bullying. It concerns us all, but particularly we are worried from the perspective of children. The problem of bullying has been acknowledged and addressed by a multitude of disciplines, but also by CHI researchers. We have carried out valuable studies trying to tackle this problem. But there is a lack of comprehensive understanding of the state of the art in CHI, and therefore we have carried out a comprehensive literature review on this topic, focusing particularly on children as well as on the computing context. And in our analysis, we have also been inspired by insights from solution-focused therapy literature. So these are the research questions we have been exploring. What and how CHI has so far done against this troublesome phenomenon, and we also considered how to move the field forward. In this literature review, we first examined how we have studied bullying, and we found out that in studies in the computing context, there were different kinds of methods utilized. Questions asking based methods were identified, questionnaires and interviews, and often we found that in CHI research they are utilized in combination with other methods. We also identified reflection-based methods aimed to arousing reflection on this troublesome phenomenon. And we would say that these are kind of one strength of CHI research. But we also identified that we have utilized quite a lot hands-on based methods in which there is hands-on engagement among children. And we say that this is a particular strength of CHI research. We also analyzed through what kind of means bullying has been tackled in computing research, and we found out that this has happened through design or through technology, and technology was clearly emphasized in this study set, but we also identified interesting differences among these studies. Some of the studies gave people very passive role. Technology was used for controlling, surveillance, monitoring, detection of bullying. But in some other studies, people were giving quite active role and their agency and empathy was supported. We also identified some studies utilizing design to tackle the problem of bullying together with children. Participatory design sessions had been organized, and we claim this is one particular strength of CHI research with children on the problem of bullying. We also identified an interesting distinction in the literature whether the focus was on problems or positive futures, and we claim that there was quite heavy emphasis on identifying and understanding current problems around bullying, but we also identified some studies which were looking at strengths and the positive futures rather, and we think this is a very interesting path for future work too. We also examined whether the focus was on individuals or collectives. And in many of the studies, bullying was seen as a kind of individual problem that was to be tackled by individuals taking action. But we also claim that bullying can and actually should be addressed through a collective approach. Bullying should be seen as a social problem. Collective responsibility needs to be aroused, collective action taking. And we also found some studies considering bullying from the perspective of one entire class or entire school, but more macro level studies were lacking. So overall, in our study, we identify fascinating underlying assumptions about design, technology, and human agency. And we also point out the value of solution-focused therapy for CHI research on bullying and for CHI research on other topics as well. And we recommend combining the strengths of solution-focused therapy with participatory design approach that we utilize. But of course, we are not suggesting CHI researchers should start acting as therapists. Definitely, this is not the case. We are not educated on that. And overall, we emphasize the significance of ethical issues around this sensitive topic.